Cash Money AP.
Yes. Let it flow.
Yes, let it flow. Let it flow. Welcome back. Rockin' and Miss Breezy, Cross the Line, King and I Life podcast.
Yes, sir.
I cross the line for you, baby. I do the time for you, baby.
You know it, baby.
Time for you, baby. I'm so glad you're mine, oh baby. So when we ain't spending time,
Follow us on your preferred podcast platform. We on, pretty much all of them. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Patreon. It's your man, Soul Touch the Poet in this joint with my brother.
Son, Soul Lex.
And we got another off the cuff topic for y'all. We're gonna get into this.
Y'all make sure y'all hit us up on that email, which is ingandeye369@gmail.com. Again, that's the King and I 369@gmail.com, homie. Make
For
sure you
sure,
shoot
for
'em out
sure.
to 'em.
For sure. Yeah, man. Guess we got one of those topics, man.
Yeah, this one right here, we shoot from the hip, homie.
From the hip. Yeah.
But this episode's topic is: do you think monogamy is dead?
It's gonna be a interesting topic. I don't even know where to start off with that. I'm gonna say yes and no.
All right.
I'm gonna say yes because there are a lot of people who have that whole fairy tale, or as most people will say, traditional idea of a union. Some people still have those type of values. Some people still look for that type of relationship. But as we've seen throughout history, and not even these days, just period, a lot of people delve into different types of relationships. So, I mean, dead overall, I don't know. What you think?
I'm gonna come at this angle from a singles mind point of view.
You gonna come from a singles mind point of view?
Yeah. I would say that shit is deader than a motherfucker, man.
Why would you come from it from a singles mind's point of view, being that you're married?
Just from the environment of my single friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of my married friends who are really at that point of like, fuck it. I'm ready to walk. And that's both male and female. But my single friends, they basically are asking that same age-old question of where in the hell did all the good female men go? And pretty much they're everywhere. I think it's just that you got to be wise enough to choose the right one. But I see both sides of the coin, and when I say both sides, I mean male and females. They're both frustrated. I think because they really want something that's real and genuine, and they're not finding that. So their frustration is, they want to get married, they want to settle down, and the ones who are married, like, I didn't sign up for this, meaning you got to do the freaking work. So it's kind of like it's hard when you have one person doing the majority of the work. And I know that there are going to be times when it's going to be like that, when the one person's going to be doing the majority of the work, and then it's going to be the other person doing the majority of the work. But that kind of like how it goes. There has to be balance to a certain extent. But one could say that both people have to pull just as hard on both ends, and honestly, it doesn't work out that way. I wish it did. I wish it was fair all the time, but it's not fair all the time. Like I said, this thing called marriage, this shit is a nonstop job. So, excuse me. Um, when I hear my friends discuss, wanting to be married and uh, wanting that connection with someone who's true to them just as much as they're true to them, um, I totally get it though. But hold on 1 second for me. Hold on 1 second. Their frustrations center around wanting more from their partners, and they're just not getting it. So I feel their pain, certainly, because I've been married for a while now, and I know that it can be a rocky road. This shit is not gonna be smooth all the time. I promise you, it's not gonna be smooth all the time. So anyway,
I get
and then
that.
you have those individuals who, I don't know. I guess they're disappointed when they enter into these relationships and they don't get what it is they feel they want from it. So then that's when they uh, tend to look somewhere else to get their needs met. So, and that's both sides of the coin again.
Mm. I would have to say that um, people like to justify, well, not like, people have a habit of running with trends and trying to justify their relationship choices into saying, oh, that's the old way, that's the old way. Eh, tomato, tomato. It's not really the old way. It's just that people change. Um, your wants change, your desires change, your needs change. And at some point, uh, you get tired of doing the same thing over and over again. When it comes to monogamous relationships, mainly marriages, I would assume that a lot of people have marriage fatigue. Because like you were saying, and like we well know, it's a job. It's an everyday job. Sometimes you have to go out of your way to be considerate of another person's wants, needs, desires, and all that other stuff. And sometimes you get to the point where you're just over that. You don't want to do it no more. You just want to worry about yourself. You just you just don't want to do that no more. So I think that's where where a lot of people are. Um, then it's that thing that we all sit back and say, tired of that same old thing. Um, no matter who it is, at some point you get tired of the same old thing, whether it's the sex, the personality, the routine, or whatever the case may be, and it just gets old. But there are people out there who are able to make it work and keep it flourishing and growing. I commend all of them on doing that. I commend anybody on their relationship success, no matter what the dynamic is. But as far as monogamy, it's a thing. It's an old thing. It's a new thing. It's a thing. You just have to do what works for you.
Yeah, I totally get that. Um, I just think that with any relationship is you're gonna have those challenges where you're, like you're saying, you want something new, you want something fresh.
Yeah.
But uh, if you're totally committed to your relationship, then you have to come up with new and inventive ways to how should I say this? Get that bitch a surge. You know what I'm saying? Choose some new life into it. You got to keep it mixed up.
But one thing that you have to factor in um, is that people change at different times, and you have to be able to compensate and adjust with that. Because as men, we go through our stages of whatever the case may be. Women go through their stages, um, and you have to be able to weather through that. If you can't weather through that, then you're going to have problems. And then at the same time, you don't know if you can weather through certain things depending on what point in your life you're in. Um, like the same things that you can deal with when you in your year 1, year 2 of your marriage, and you probably 25, 26 years old, you can deal with certain things. When you get into year 5, 6, 7, and 8, and you probably in your mid 30s, early 40s, you might not be able to tolerate them same old things. So you definitely have to take all of that into consideration when you're looking at upholding a monogamous relationship. Um, and then at the end of the day, you have to uh, decide if monogamy is what you want, if that's your thing. Because if it's not your thing, then what are you doing?
True. Uh, I think that we tend to forget to a certain degree that people are going to be people at the end of the day. Again, no one's perfect. So I think that people want to have someone to love them and treat them, the way that they want to be treated.
Hmm.
But that feeling of wanting something new and different with certain people, I could see how that affects their ability to make a sound decision. Like when they
True.
get caught up in a situation where there's cheating going on.
Hmm.
I don't really care for that word at all, but it is what it is. Um, I just think that human nature is human nature.
True.
So when you go to thinking that um, the person you're in a relationship with or a marriage with, when they come up short as far as like holding their word, which is to stay loyal to you when it comes down to being intimate with someone else.
Hmm.
Again, I think it's kind of like we're asking people for damn near to do the impossible.
Yeah.
And it has been done. I'm not saying it can't be done, but back then when our parents and our grandparents were growing up, that's a different time and a different age, um, where being uh, keeping your youth, as they say, or keeping your virginity, um, was something that was preached upon. That was something that was very much pushed, and especially in our household, as far as like our ancestors and stuff. But nowadays, um, it's sex is everywhere.
Hmm.
I mean, you go to the internet and you watch TV, like a lot of shit that they used to not show, they damn show now. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like they show the damn naked ass bodies and um, people's genitalias, as they say.
Yeah.
So it is just a different time now where I think I'm not gonna say it's harder, but sex sales and it's pushed more the idea of um, I guess you can say there's so many attractive people in the world, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you know, subconsciously it's showing you that you may have an interest in or an attraction to a different person.
Right.
So,
True. True. I feel you on that. Um, yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing. You know, got to keep it fresh if you want monogamy, and there's no two ways around that.
no, not at all. I can you hear us? He's trying to get connected here.
Yeah. Just jump on in when when you get that good audio going. We got a guest joining us for this conversation. You can go ahead and throw that introduction out there while he gets himself connected and everything.
All right. Well, this is an associate of mine. Known this man for quite some years. But anyway, to make a long story short, I was telling him about the conversation, and he said he wanted to partake. So that's why he's here.
What's up?
He's saying that he can't get in. So
Damn it, man. But yeah, people just got to keep that in mind when they choose to engage in these type of these relationships. People get turned off from relationships because of. Let me back up. Monogamy is also a learned behavior. Something that we learn from our parents, family members, our friends. As you were saying, sex is everywhere. We, learning on TV, this, that, and the other. If you're not raised in that type of behavior, I would say that you have a somewhat of a 50-50 chance of being in a monogamous relationship. Even if you grew up in that type of environment, you probably have a 50% chance. I'm not an expert. I don't know the exact percentages, but, with anything is what you learn. And once you start stepping out there in life, then you have to factor in your experiences. I would say for me being a hot ass for a lot of my 20s, I really wasn't thinking about monogamy in that way. It just wasn't my thing. But I always wanted to be in a monogamous relationship, as conflicting as that may sound. I wanted that fairy tale or traditional type of relationship, however you want to call it, but it just, deep down, it just at times it just wasn't. I wasn't feeling it, so I just did what the hell I did.
Yeah. I will be honest with you. Back in my younger years, I definitely I broke a lot of hearts saying I wanted one thing, but I actually would do something of the opposite. I'm not proud of that by no means, but it is what it is, and it was what it was. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right. Well, now that we got you on,
Right.
We see your camera is on. Well, you can introduce yourself, sir.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
All right, we good. We going good.
Everything's
My name
great.
is Charlie Bodangles.
You can say that again.
My name is Charlie Bowdangles.
Oh Lord.
Okay, Mr. Charlie.
Oh man. So what are we discussing today?
The topic is, do you think monogamy is dead? What say you, sir?
Well, I look at it a couple of different ways. Today time is way different from back when I was in my 20s. Today time is so different, man. And a lot of it is based off a couple different categories, right? You take men and women who are, say, in a different tax bracket, right? And your top 1 to 3%. I think those people have less patience when it comes to being married in a relationship with one person. And sex plays a lot of part in that, because I feel like today a lot of women don't feel like they have to sleep with their husband when their husband want to. It's more on their schedule, or you know. And I think when you get people dealing that different tax bracket, no one has the patience for that. They're like, hey, I'm good with or without you, right? And then you go down to the guys who say make $50,000 a year. They're really trying to build something, and they got a little bit more patience for that, right? Because of course they're trying to please their wives and take care of their wives, and they put up with a little bit more than the average person the average person that's in that 1 and top 3% of that tax bracket. And then you got these lazy ass men out here who don't work, and their women are the breadwinners. They just take it, period, because they take a lot of abuse because they're not really bringing them to the table, right? So they have to deal with it. I feel like monogamy would come back and be stronger if a man, say a man or a woman, was getting what they needed at home. Because this is my thing. I feel like, can we say anything on this show?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Speak your mind.
I feel like I never had sex, and right after I finished, I was like, I'm going down the road and look for another piece of ass. Never had that happen to me before, right? So if I was getting that at home when I want to, another woman wouldn't be a factor. I'll still be a man and probably just look, but it would never be a factor. The only way another woman comes into play for me as a man is the fact that if I wasn't getting it at home, then that door is like open. Because once again, I'm one of those people in that top 3% tax bracket where I feel like I don't have the patience for it. And I feel like I'm way too old to be begging for somebody for a piece of ass. I'm sorry. You know, you did that when you was like maybe 17, 18. There was this one girl that was in high school, and she was just like the head, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? But and even in your early 20s, when you're trying to figure out life and trying to get stable and build something and have your own house, of course you'll put in a little bit more time chasing. But when you get settled in life and you got a list of accomplishments, I think the begging part kind of leaves out, and you just don't have the patience or the time for it, you know? So, but as long as, you know, we got these modern day women, a lot of them say they're independent, but I don't believe it. Setting the rules and saying, hey, you know, I'm gonna have sex on this day and that day, it kind of leaves the door open, you know? And I'm quite sure women feel the same way. You know, a lot of women out there are sex deprived too. So they do their thing, because at the end of the day, hell, men ain't cheating with themselves, and they ain't out here raping either. You know, so a lot of these women with these rings on their hand, they're wide open too. You know, so I think it goes both ways, if that make any sense.
You know, I'm glad that you brought up the tax bracket thing, because I didn't even factor that in. Because I think a couple of our discussions, we talked about that balance. And you know, not to say that it's a prevalent thing, but you know, the person with the bigger income, you're right, they do have less tolerance for that. And that person who has the less income or who is more dependent on the person with the bigger income is kind of a liability, and that liability becomes a turnoff. It becomes one of those things where it's like you're just a thing. You're not a so much of an equal, for lack of a better term. So they're going to find something that's equal to them, which will take them out of that monogamy mindset. And you also, totally agree with you as far as, you know, begging for the sex thing. You know, back when we was younger, we probably didn't look at it as begging, but as we get older, we look back on what we did. We look now on what uh, guys and girls are doing now, and you know, we look at where we are in our life, whether we're in that high tax bracket or not. And you're like, I'm not doing that, especially if you my wife. I'm not doing that. I was in a situation like that with my third wife. Like I've said, you know, we started out when we first hooked up, we was having sex damn near every day of the week. After we got married, it stopped. We dropped down to 2-3 times a week, which was not a bad thing. I mean, I think 2-3 times a week in a married couple, that's pretty average, or you know, pretty decent amount. Then it dropped down to 2-3 times every 2 weeks, 2-3 times a month, 2-3 times every 2 months. Probably go a whole financial quarter with doing nothing. And you know, it's the little things that I was asking for, like, can we have sex in the daytime? You know, can we do some spontaneous stuff? Can you initiate? And you know, when I heard I'm not gonna be your whore, whoa, okay. Why am I being
Wow.
why am I being monogamous with you if I can't get these basic things that I'm asking for? And your response to me is I'm not gonna be your whore. You know what? If that's your mentality, I'm gonna go out and find somebody who is going to accommodate me without all that nonsense.
Right. Because a lot of time when you find, I'm just going to talk about men for right now. A lot of time when you find men in that top tax bracket, a lot of time those guys are go-getters. So
Right. Yeah.
it's not a lot you can do to impress them. Those guys are going to cook, clean, wash clothes, do whatever they need to do for themselves. And that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of hard to come in and say that, oh, I cook and I clean, da da da. You're talking about stuff that I already do. You have
Right.
to bring something to the table that I don't do,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, and I think it's a control thing, meaning that, hey, I
Agree with that.
finally got my man. He knows this, because if you pay attention to a lot of these shows that's on TV right now, the married women, they kind of brag about how they got their husband. Oh, he ain't gonna do it, da da da. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
control thing and a bragging factor,
Yeah.
because everybody wants to compete with somebody
Mm-hmm.
as to what their husband do, right? So you can have women that are good women, and you know, and a woman should be treated like a queen. If you marry her, she should be treated like a queen. She should
Right.
be.
Mm-hmm.
It's a limit to everything, and I don't believe in that saying, uh, "Happy wife, happy life."
Oh
If I
hell
find the
no.
person who said that, I'm gonna slap the shit out of them, because that's bullshit. Because you can bend over backwards, my man, and it's still not enough, because a lot of time these women are competing with themselves and they don't even have to, right?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
it's a fulfillment thing, and then in that process of them trying to prove that they're the baddest on the yard, they leave the men out,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why this thing of the side chick is so big and it's so popular, because it's just what it is. See, a lot of time you get these men in these different tax bracket. If you can have part of him, he's better than those men that's in those other two brackets. Way
Yeah.
better,
Yeah.
way better. And I'll take a little bit of him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of time they say, hey, as long as you come over here and fuck me, you know, I did have a flat tire. Don't worry, I'll take care of that.
Mm-hmm.
And the day is fucking made, right?
Right.
Because those women realize that, hey, it's a real struggle out here. And I just found the motherfucker right now who's not really happy at home. And all I gotta do is fuck this mother, which is the natural thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And this motherfucker make sure I get to work on time. make sure that, and that's really all I want somebody to care about me. You know what I mean? So, and that's why I think the side chick thing will continue to grow, because if women and men or side dudes, whatever the case may be, women and men don't wake up and be more, is this the right term to use? More appreciative. They wake up and be more appreciative, then this monogamy thing will come back and you will have that old school home family type again. Until that changes, you won't have that. But like I said, that guy who's at home, who's lazy as fuck, don't want to work, he don't give a damn if she only fuck him once every 3 months, because he's scared to say something, because he gonna be on the street, right?
Right. Yeah.
The guy that's in the middle saying, hey, I'm just happy that I got a fucking woman at making fucking $50,000 a year. And I know I bought her this damn Lexus and I can't fucking pay for it, but at least I got me a fucking woman, right? He's kind of content with that shit too. But when you go up above, like, I don't really know what we're doing here, but it's not really my thing. It's not really my thing. You can sit here and pout and do whatever you want, but you're really hurting yourself. You're really hurting yourself, because at the end of the day, I can wake up and go to sleep without you. Because it's somebody that wants a half a man or 1/4 of a man who's better than those top other tax brackets. That's just my opinion of it.
That damn sure makes sense though. I mean, my whole thing is with certain married couples, and these are my friends, you know, telling me what they're experiencing. And you know, anytime you marry, you can identify with a married couple 9 times out of 10. But they're basically saying that, you know, that they want to be more intimate with their wives, but they ain't into raping a female either. You know what I'm saying? They're getting that no, or I don't feel like it, or maybe tomorrow, or something like that. And you sit here with a damn rock hard ass dick, you know, you ready to get it in now. You ain't trying to, you know, wait for tomorrow, or give me a couple days, or something like that. And I get the whole, you know, this that time of the month, but you know, there's such thing called goddamn head, and there's, you know, ain't neither one of your damn hands broken. So,
all right.
Yep, be creative, because I came from a place where, you know, just as long as you touching on big dog, I'm cool with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, women get upset when their husband or something slap them on the ass, or interrupt them in the shower. And it's just a ridiculous thing that's going on, man. And one thing people have to understand, we're all getting older every day, right? So,
for sure.
If you look now on the internet, this whole thing about, they talk to these women who are like 22 to like 29, and they asking, what you gonna do for me? Do you got that bag? See, those type of women right there, because of the internet and what they see online, they want to live that life. And a lot of times they pretty much gonna die by themselves, right? Because they gonna run up on somebody who's in that top 3 and be like, are you kidding me right now? I don't have to give you nothing. Because of where I'm at, I get to pick and choose.
Right, yeah.
So the comment is for those guys that making that $50,000 a year, because they think that you're pretty, think that you're fine, and they're gonna do that only because of what they see, not knowing what they really getting themselves into. It's a fucking headache.
Yeah.
It's a fucking headache.
Yeah, and I think it's tragic and it's sad that we have these misguided stereotypes of what should be going on and how things should be going about. Because these young girls, they watch these reality TV shows, Housewives this, hip hop this, and all this, that, and the other, and it's like, oh, if I could do this, that, and the other, I can get him this, that, and the other. And it's like, nah. At the end of the day, you're gonna respect me as a man first and foremost.
Right.
You're gonna approach me as an equal, regardless of our tax brackets or anything. You're gonna come at me with dignity and respect. You're not gonna come at me with this gum popping, neck shaking, finger waving shit, and thinking that you know, that's going to impress me. That's going to break me down. That's going to make me be like, oh yeah, I got to, you know, drop these dollars on there to get that ass, this, that, and other. Then I got to go out of my way to get the ass. That's like, and then you ask these chicks what they want, or these dudes out here what they want, and they're telling you they want X, Y, and Z, but they're not mentally, physically, and emotionally, or sometimes financially prepared for what the hell they talking about. So when it comes down to the monogamy thing, it's like, if you sell yourself short and accept that nonsense, you silly. You beyond silly, because nah, you can't be doing those shit like that.
But they don't get it, man. Like I said, the respect thing is gone because a lot of them feel like, hey, I could treat you any kind of way because it's another man that wants me.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't realize what you're trying to do is trying to establish a neutral ground for everybody to be able to communicate and get along, right? And a lot of times those women find themselves in bad situations with guys who just dog them out because they feel like that's what I need to do to you to bring you down to earth, right? So it's kind of crazy to me because you had a guy who wanted to respect you, wanted to do this, but that wasn't good enough for you. So now you run and you find this guy and he dogs you out and stuff like that, and now you want to cry wolf. I don't get that because you know exactly what you got yourself into. You knew that. You didn't want the good guy that wakes up Saturday morning, cuts his grass and do that. You didn't want that guy. You want that guy to come on, oh yeah, I'm gonna get you this bag and get you this, but this is what the fuck you gonna do. Don't fucking call your mom. I don't want you talking to them. Don't fucking call your friends. You want that guy.
Right.
Only because you was chasing that bag, right? So you was chasing that bag and you put a price on your pussy when you didn't even know how to rate your pussy. Right. You know, it kills me. They ask for that bag, they put a price on their pussy, but really you don't even know how good your pussy is. In your mind, you think because you might have a pretty face, nice body, you got, nah, it doesn't. It doesn't. Let's stop it. It doesn't. All right. So how in the hell you out here buying and selling your own fucking house is what I call it. And you ain't had nobody come in to appraise it to say that it's really fucking worth that. But because you watch social media, you saying, oh, I'm that. No, you're not. It takes a lot to get that, you know, and good pussy is not just meet the meat feeling. Good pussy involves fucking amazing personality. It involves great understanding. It involves humbleness.
Right.
Makes good pussy in my book. You understand me? So, and if you don't have all those qualities, you out here faking. You faking, or what the young people call it, capping. You lying. You lying to me, you lying to every goddamn body. Stop lying. You know what I mean? Tell the truth. Right. You don't fucking qualify to have good pussy. You're not qualified to have good pussy.
True.
Very interesting point. Very interesting point. My thing is this: and again, not putting it all off on the women. Let's be clear about that. Because there's some dudes too who feel like, you know, that they can skip out on that part of the relationship, and in a lot of situations it's because they feel like they have other women who are interested in them, or maybe even chasing them. They so busy out there in the damn street that they don't make time for the home. So again, not putting it all off on the women. You know, men fuck up too just as much.
Exactly.
But the thing about it is women nowadays, to a certain degree, and again, not saying all women, but a lot of women, they see these fancy lifestyles on, you know, the internet and on TV, with the Atlanta Housewives and shows like that, where they see these women living these certain type of lifestyles, and you know, they feel like, I want to live like that too. But they don't realize and understand the work that comes behind that. You know, if you say you want a man like that, there's a lot that comes along with that. If a man's making over 100-some thousand, he pretty much can have his pick of the litter when it comes down to women who's chasing the bag. Let's be real about it.
And then at the same time, why would I spend a lot of time if I'm in that tax bracket? Why would I spend a lot of time with this lady who's out here saying she's chasing the bag and she's doing that, and wasting my time when it's so many women be like, hey, I'm here. If I'm gonna do that, I can just go to the strip club. If I'm just
Right,
gonna
definitely.
pretty much just wasting money. So I can just go to the strip club and do that. You know what I mean? So it's a good topic that you guys got going on. But you know, like I said, some people gonna disagree and not disagree. Like I said, it's a lot of women out here who are good women, but they're being shut out because of the fakeness has jumped in front and taken a lot of the good men away, right? So that hurts monogamy too, right? So because you don't get a chance to see them or get a chance to look at them, you know, and like the other guy said, there's a lot of men who run from responsibility also. So it's not just on the woman. It's a lot of men that run from responsibility who don't want it. A lot of men out here who's dogging these women out. So it's a whole lot that plays into the fact that you can't have that wholesome household like you used to.
Yeah,
it's a lot to factor in that.
I totally agree with you. Totally agree with
Guys,
you.
thank you so much for having me on. I got some business to attend to. Hopefully one day in the future, you guys will invite me back.
For sure, man.
No doubt. Please come back because you was very insightful in what you were saying. You definitely saw some points in that didn't cross my mind. So definitely, man, definitely.
Yeah, man, I definitely enjoyed it, man. I love what you guys are doing. Wish you guys nothing but the best.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. For sure. Like I said, Mr. Charlie, we will be having you back on.
Yeah, definitely.
Just be real with it, and we appreciate you not holding back any. You definitely did not hold any punches on me, so thank you. And like I said, again, we'll have you back on the show. But we want to thank everybody for tuning in to the King and I Life podcast.
Yes.
You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us at our email, which is KINGANDYE369@gmail.com. That's King and I 369@gmail.com. Once again, I appreciate you tuning in.
Stay connected, baby.